Hey, welcome to a new video. In the future, there will be a time when women can have the special chance to conceive and give birth to a child using portable artificial wombs, shaped like eggs. Are you new to this channel? Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And before we continue, also like the video. Near future scenario. A young woman wakes up in her apartment and her home AI instantly starts the coffee maker and tells Rachel the good news about her better digestive health. It recommends a suitable outfit for the day and reminds her of her appointment at the capsule center. Rachel wakes her husband, Elvie, to wish him a good morning and say goodbye before she leaves for work. The AI then suggests Elvie's outfit for the day and tells him that his happiness level has gone up a bit. He gets a ready-made breakfast and goes to the home greenhouse. Meanwhile, Rachel gets to work where today they are showcasing a new kind of cognitive help called our machines, which will soon become new cognitive supervisors. After the presentation, Rachel's boss invites her to talk about the possibility of her growing her family, as they are considering promoting her. Furthermore, the company is ready to pay for the services of the uterus center, which Rachel is thankful for. Later, Rachel is working when she gets a call from the uterus center. They tell her there's been a change in their schedule and a spot has become available for her. They set up a time for her visit, and Rachel settles into a comfy chair, thinking about her future child. At the same time, her husband is teaching a class in the botanical garden, where he shows the students a fig fruit that he grew naturally. He offers the kids a taste, but they're hesitant. Eventually, one daring student tries it. Meanwhile, Rachel shares the happy news with her colleague and friend, Alice, and admits that she hasn't told her husband about her visit to the center because of this. She consults her robot psychoanalyst, confessing that her husband feels very distant, as he is deeply connected to the natural world, which fuels his wish for a child to be conceived, carried, and born naturally. The AI wonders why a child born naturally is seen as different from one grown in a capsule, questioning what sets them apart. Rachel is stumped and can't pinpoint the differences. Later, as she and her friends step out for lunch, enjoying the delightful scents around them, Rachel decides she needs to discuss everything with her husband. She finds him relaxed, watching a soothing program, and he shares how his day went. Elvie expresses his disappointment that the younger generation lacks a connection with nature because they were never taught its importance. At some point, society started treating nature merely as a resource, which is when things started to go wrong. The next day, Rachel visits the uterus center, where she and others talk about how, when the birth rate fell to 0, their newly founded center took on the challenge of addressing the issue. Women were choosing not to have children because it was too inconvenient. The center's goal is for them to live full lives and follow their dreams without the distraction of children. The center's director, Linda, greets everyone and is eager to showcase the latest technological innovations. Humans have always found ways to master nature, so why shouldn't women be able to manage childbirth? Linda leads a tour of the center, highlighting the specially designed capsule where the baby develops. If parents are too busy to engage directly, they can use an app to play music, audiobooks, or educational podcasts for the baby. They can also feed the baby and monitor its growth. A major benefit is that babies in the capsules aren't exposed to viruses or toxins. The capsules can function independently for 48 hours. The fetus can hear everything outside, so it's recommended for the mother to talk to the baby often. After the meeting, Linda reminds Rachel about needing to make a deposit, but Rachel plans to discuss it with her husband first. When Rachel gets home, she tells Elvie about her plan to use the uterus center to have a child, which upsets him. He's bothered that she made such a significant decision alone and visited the center without him. Rachel apologizes and they make up. She suggests they talk to Alice and her husband, and the family goes to visit them. Alice excitedly talks about how the technology allows women to have a child without pain, suffering, or changes to their bodies, while her husband shows off a special belt designed to carry the egg capsule, which Elvie views with skepticism. He strongly refuses to keep the capsule at home, feeling uneasy that it seems to be made of plastic. Rachel tries to reassure him that the child will perceive it as a real maternal womb. But Elvie is not convinced. He struggles with the idea of the child being packaged in plastic. Rachel proposes that he should see her robot psychotherapist. Initially, he is offended by the suggestion, but he eventually goes. After hearing the AI's advice, he realizes they've been misunderstanding each other. Returning home and discussing how human evolution led to children being grown in capsules, he agrees to Rachel's plan, understanding its importance to her. The next day, they visit the center, and while now a child can be created from any genetic material, Rachel declares that Elvie will be the biological father. She decides to let nature choose the child's gender. Linda takes them to a room where, on a large screen, the future parents can watch the moment of conception. Afterwards, they are shown a container with the fertilized zygote so they can look at it. Later, the couple shares the news with Rachel's parents. Rachel's father suggests that Elvie should sell his country house since they hardly ever use it, but Elvie strongly disagrees. While the capsule stays at the center, the future parents go back to their normal lives. The day arrives when the program connects Rachel to the capsule, and even though no sounds can be heard yet, she starts picking out music for the baby. At one point, she attempts to see the baby, but she learns it is kept in total darkness until the 7th week. Then one of the capsules sends a signal. It's time for the birth. Although everything is scheduled, the baby doesn't always arrive exactly on time. Soon, Rachel begins to experience unusual dreams, which she shares with her psychoanalyst, but the AI dismisses the dreams as unreliable for analysis. After 6 weeks of pregnancy, once the baby's heartbeat can be heard, Linda allows them to bring the capsule home for the first time. She shows them the baby that day. Rachel gets the nursery ready, and Elvie brings in an olive tree sapling. However, Rachel suggests replacing it with a hologram, and the upset husband takes the tree back, vowing to plant it at their country house, which Rachel again proposes selling. She just doesn't see why they need to go anywhere when they have everything they need for a good life here. But Elvie insists he doesn't want to raise their child surrounded by plastic. The next day, Rachel meets a pregnant woman in the pool who lets her listen to her baby's movements, bringing her joy. That evening, they move the capsule to their bedroom to stay close to their future child. However, Elvie feels uneasy about being intimate while the baby is nearby, so they move the capsule to the nursery. Immediately, the capsule signals that the baby is hungry, and the parents quickly respond to feed their child. Sometime later, they visit the center to learn about parenting. Linda takes the prospective parents around, showing them play areas where children engage and answering their queries. Education is no longer government-funded, but the center teaches the youngsters programming and logic. In one room, children participate in creative activities, or more accurately, a computer carries out tasks while the children give their input. When one parent inquires about the children's dreams, Linda assures him, "Dreams are not included in the fetal development program because they don't provide any useful information." One day, while Elvie is in his greenhouse, he hears the capsule signal. He feeds the baby and then tries communicating with it. Meanwhile, Rachel is warned about her falling productivity at work. At the same time, Elvie tries on the capsule holder and feels proud of managing it well. Now he takes the capsule around with him, reading to the baby, posing riddles, showing it his plants, and even falling asleep next to it. At work, he advises visitors to embrace a tree to feel its calming impact. His boss praises him for the upcoming joyful event and suggests replacing the live plants in the greenhouse with holograms since growing real trees is too costly. But Elvie angrily rejects this idea. At home, the family watches a documentary about penguins, and Elvie tears up learning about the bird's dedication. Concerned, Rachel suggests they should return the capsule to the center, as other parents do. That's when Elvie admits he brought the capsule to work. Rachel shares this with her colleagues. She's worried about her husband's intense involvement with the egg. Nonetheless, her co-workers encourage her to appreciate it. After all, it shows the father is forming an immediate bond with their future child. Rachel keeps having unusual dreams, and her pregnant friend reassures her that it's normal for expectant mothers. One night, Rachel dreams she has a baby bump and finds joy in it. She also starts focusing all her attention on the capsule, especially after receiving an old book from Elvie's mother about the benefits of parental closeness. But this focus begins to trouble Rachel, and the couple visits a psychoanalyst. Finding balance is tough because their lives increasingly revolve around the child. Rachel feels jealous of Elvie since he spends more time with the baby than she does, feeling that as the mother, she should be more involved. Hearing their concerns, the AI psychoanalyst requests permission to connect to the capsule, to better understand the situation as it cannot take sides without more information. The next day, Rachel brings the capsule to work with her. She finds herself distracted, paying too much attention to the baby. Alice recommends placing the egg in a special area designated for the capsules of other expectant mothers, noting that Rachel is becoming a distracting mother. Alice keeps her own capsule at the center because it's more convenient for her. In the evening, Rachel, still with the capsule, rushes to the center for a parenting seminar. After the seminar, Linda suggests that they leave the baby in the incubation area. The family hesitantly agrees to this arrangement. With the capsule gone, their home feels empty, and both Elvie and Rachel miss having it around. One day, Rachel dreams of walking along the seaside with the baby in her arms. She wakes up in tears and moves Elvie's small tree into the nursery, which surprises her husband. At work, her boss is not fully satisfied with her performance, but Rachel reassures her that everything is under control. Later, Linda tells them that the baby will be delivered next Wednesday, as deliveries now take place in the 39th week. The timing is strict because the capsules are in high demand, and babies can't be born too early or too late. The parents need to receive oxytocin, known as the love hormone, to prepare for the baby's arrival. However, the family surprises the director by asking if they can take the capsule home before the scheduled delivery, despite this being against the rules. Moreover, important personality development seminars are held daily. Linda suggests they take special tablets to regulate the baby's sleep, which is a great help to parents. After leaving the meeting, the couple walks past a group of women protesting against the use of capsules. Suddenly, Elvie turns back and, seeing the midwife busy with another patient, takes the capsule without permission. That night, Rachel has a dream where she is buying her baby from a store, and they offer her a 2 for the price of 1 deal. When she wakes up, she urges her husband to take her to their countryside home to have the baby in nature. Elvie hurries to the center and tells Linda about their plan to give birth at home. However, the director strongly objects. The capsule is very expensive and we cannot take risks, so you must return the egg as soon as possible, she insists. Despite this, the family heads to their coastal home. Rachel begins to appreciate the surrounding nature, seeing things from her husband's perspective. Together, they walk through the forest and plant an olive tree. They often sit by the sea with the capsule, until one night it unexpectedly shuts off. Panicking, Rachel suggests calling the center, but Elvie reassures her, reminding her that they still have 48 hours and they need to trust the child. They are awakened by the onset of labor, which requires a code to be entered, but they can't figure it out. In desperation, Elvie grabs a hammer, opens the capsule, and retrieves a beautiful, healthy baby. The overjoyed parents hold their child close. Early the next morning, Rachel places the capsule in a box, takes it to the post office, and sends it back to the center. She then returns home to find her husband and son peacefully sleeping on the bed. The filmmakers sensitively depict the absurdity of a potential social evolution. Nothing catastrophic occurs. Instead, people simply become so accustomed to convenience that they lose touch with life's pleasures. Why travel to the countryside when you can visit a capsule garden, lie down, and breathe in the simulated scent of the forest? And why endure the process of pregnancy and the physical strains it entails when there's the capsule? They ponder. So that was all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. See you in the next one.